everybody, it's Melissa. Happy Sunday. And also, happy Father's Day to all of the dads out there. So, with that being said, my dad has not been in my life. I don't ever remember him being in my life. I don't really think about it on an everyday basis, but it did make me think about, because today's Father's Day, it did make me think about a few things. So, first off, I don't like when women, single mothers, want to take credit for Father's Day too. It really bothers me because I get kind of where they're coming from. Like, they feel like they're doing all, everything. They've been doing it all on their own, and, maybe that's true. Maybe they did every single thing on their own and didn't even get maybe financial help or anything like that. Okay, that's what Mother's Day is for. Yes, you're the child's mother. You're supposed to take care of them. And no matter what the circumstance, whether it's alone or with a partner, you made the decision to have that baby. It's your responsibility. I'm not saying that fathers don't have responsibility, but I feel like it is a touch more the mother's responsibility if things go terrible. Say you have a baby with someone, their relationship just goes down, and for whatever reason, he's like, fuck you, whatever, leaves you be, and you're taking care of that child all by yourself. I don't think that you should be bitter about it. I think that you should be happy, right, that you have this child that you say that you love, right? So if you love this child so much, then it shouldn't be a huge, burden. I mean, of course you're going to struggle, you're probably going to be financially strapped, but I think the benefits, outweigh that, right? I mean, at least it should. So anyways, with that being said, you have a child with somebody. At some point, you cared about that person, or maybe you even love that person, and if it doesn't work out, you have children together, whatever, and it doesn't work out, and you split up, I think that you should still respect that father, no matter how shitty of a person he is, that without him, you would not have your children, right? People don't think about that. They want to be so nasty and so bitter about whatever happened. And it might have been terrible. Maybe he cheated on you. Maybe he did, was abusive. Maybe there's a ton of bad shit that he did, right? But regardless, even if he has nothing to do with his children, at least respect the fact that you wouldn't have your children without him. So just keep that in mind. And then also, you have these dads that are trying, they're not with the mother for whatever happened, and they're trying to have a relationship with their, children, and that mom is so bitter about whatever happened in that relationship that she puts it on the kids. And that's some bullshit. I fucking hate when I hear that shit. When these women are talking shit in front of their kids about their father, and then kids love their mom. Typically, you know what I mean? They love their mom, and they are going to kind of go by what their mom says. So, say their dad is not around every day, but he's sending child support even. I just think it's bullshit how women don't, first off, respect the relationship that they had prior to having these children, and respect the fact that they wouldn't have these children without that guy, right? And respect the fact that that guy's responsibility is not to you, okay? And I know a lot of people are going to be mad at that statement, but the thing is when you have kids, you gotta take yourself out of the equation at some point. If you and that guy cannot get along, and just the relationship is not working out, take yourself out of the shit. And at least I would hope that you could still be friends with that guy, right? Unless it was so bad, abusive, whatever. There's all those, certain scenarios that this maybe wouldn't apply to. But I would hope you could be friends with that guy, the father of your children. At least be friends, or be civil at the very minimum. And just let him have a relationship with his kids. And then let your kids make the choice. Maybe they'll realize, you know what? Dad's a piece of shit. I don't want to be around him. Whatever. Okay, so be it. But don't let your bitterness, your your hatred towards him because of whatever he may have done to you affect how your kids interact with him or know about him, because that's not fair, because your perception of him is going to be totally different than your kid's perception of him. And I hate too when bitches think that money is the only thing that matters. That is not true. There are some guys that are struggling out here and maybe can't pay, the child support. But I don't think that gives the mom a reason to not let them have a relationship with their children. I think that is so much bullshit that it comes down to basically you're making him pay to see his kids. I think that is the most fucked up thing on earth. I think you're doing your kids an injustice. I think that you are really kind of a shitty mother for that. I think that you have some issues and that you need to get help if you think that financial support is what is going to determine your child's relationship with their father. And of course, it could be the opposite direction, right? It could be, that the kids are just with the dad, okay? And the mom is, not doing her part. Either way, either fucking scenario, the whole point of it is that money is not the most important thing, okay? Like, yes, you need money to live, you need money to survive, but you do not need money for all this extra shit that doesn't matter. Relationships matter more. And it gets me so fucking fired up because I see it all the time. And like, literally, go on Facebook today on Father's Day, see how many dumb fucking posts you see from people who say that they love their kids more than anything, but then they talk shit about the father. And it's like, okay, he might not be doing what you want him to do. He might have done some real dirty shit to you. I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't be hurt or that you shouldn't, be like split up or whatever the case is. Like, but I'm saying your relationship with that guy is different from the relationship that he has with his children or that you have with your children. And yeah, of course, everybody wants the perfect relationship where, or I shouldn't say perfect because nothing's perfect, but you want the relationship where you're together with, the guy, you're having kids together, and it's like this happiness, right? But reality is, there's a lot of people that are not together that have kids, and a lot of kids get fucked up because the parents can't act right. And they're talking shit, and they're fighting in front of each other, and in front of the kids, and all that kind of shit. And then those kids have like this, like, vision of some bullshit, and that's how they are like basing their relationships in the future off of, is the bullshit that they seen from you guys. And I just think it's crazy, and I wish people would think more into it than, I'm hurt, so I'm gonna make him hurt by him not seeing the kids, or he's not giving me the money I want, so he's not gonna see the kids, or I'm gonna celebrate Father's Day because he's a piece of shit and I do everything. It's like, there would be a lot less of that if you would realize, okay, this relationship, for whatever reason, it didn't work, but we're gonna be right for these children. It doesn't mean you have to be together. It doesn't mean that you have to fake shit. It just means I respect that he is the father of my children. I respect him as a man. I respect him as someone who I once had feelings for, whatever the case may be. I respect him that he is a role model for my children. Whether he is a good role model or a bad role model, he is going to be in their lives for some, for a certain extent of time. After kids get to a certain age, they start judging and they start making their own choices, and they know, okay? Like, by no means do I say if you had an abusive guy in your life to keep him in your children's life too, as far as just letting them go alone with him and stuff like that. If he was abusing the kids and all that kind of shit, obviously that's a whole nother scenario. And I know that I'm going to get some shit about that because people are going to be like, you don't know the scenario and blah, blah, blah. But listen, bitch, here's the thing. All I'm saying is respect yourself. Okay, don't, of course, let people abuse you and keep doing dumb shit to you. Get out of that shit. But also, if you have kids with one or multiple people, you have to realize that your kids need to have relationships with them. And every scenario is going to be different, but you need to respect the fact that money does not equal him seeing the kids or whatever the case is. That just blows my mind that there's so many people that do that. I don't know. I think about this kind of stuff because, you know, my dad wasn't in my life. I don't really give a shit. Do I think that my relationships overall are affected on some level because of that? Of course. I didn't have a father figure. I had a grandpa that was, you know, a pretty good stable role model. I had a couple of uncles and things like that. But yes, does it matter to have a father in your life? Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Because if you don't have any male role model in your life, you don't know you don't know what you're getting into relationship wise. You don't know like what to kind of look for, what you deserve, what you know, like that kind of respect between, you know, a female and a male. I think that it's a big deal to have a guy in, you know, a father figure in your life. And so I just think that people are having kids and not thinking about, you know, take their feelings out of it and realize your kids are more important. And, you know, I could go on and on about this shit because it's crazy to me how often I hear about like, he's not giving me this money, so he's not seeing the kids, or he didn't do this for me. Bitch, he don't have to do nothing for you because it's not about you. It's about them kids. And I just hate the manipulation and the fucking disrespect that goes with the whole thing. And, you know, vice versa. There's a lot of dads out there that are single fathers and the mom is a piece of shit, or, you know, whatever happened and she didn't want the kids. Same scenario, okay? He could do the same shit, but most guys don't do that unless you're doing some real fucked up shit, okay? Like maybe you're on drugs or some shit and maybe they're not going to let you see your kids. But for the most part, guys are going to try to be above it to a certain extent and let you still see your kids because they know that a mother's, you know, presence is important too. So, you know, there's always those odd cases where, you know, there's nothing you can do and you're just going to be doing it on your own. But I just wish that people would kind of think a bigger picture and realize that it's not about you. It's not about, you know, the baby daddy. It's about the kids. And, you know, I think a lot of kids growing up would be better off because, you know, their relationships are going to be better if they know, like, okay, my parents were at least civil. Even if they were not together, they didn't fight all the time. They didn't talk shit about each other all the time. They let me have my own opinions about them and, you know, kind of judge the situation for myself when I was older. And trust me, when they're like teenagers and whatnot, they're going to see if their dad is shitty, they're not going to want to be around him. If their mom is shitty, they're not going to want to be around their mom. You know, so just let them decide, you know, their opinions and stuff like that on their, you know, parent and whatnot. So anyways, I gotta go. I have lots of laundry to do and I'm going to get my eyebrows waxed, okay? But happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there because I know that there are bitches out there that are not giving you time with your children and things like that, and I think it's bullshit. And, you know, I wish that I could change that for you because I do think it's really important for the fathers to be in the lives of their children. And so that's just my part, and I hope everybody has a great Sunday, the rest of their Sunday, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.